Hi, I'm Angel, the Director of Athletics English, and welcome to the free 7 rules in your course. Today is Rule 1. Now, Rule 1 is learn phrases. Learn English phrases, not individual words. This one, just like all the other rules, is very simple, very easy. And like the other rules, this rule is very, very powerful. So simple, so powerful. What is the rule? The rule is always learn phrases, not individual words. So simple. So a phrase is a group of words. So you can help a whole sentences, but it's just even a part of sentences. So for example, let's say you have the word hate, Hate, and you want to learn this new word. You can, write down the new words hate, and then you find out your dictionary, the meaning of the dictionary, and then you memorize hate thing all the way. That's the old way, that the kind of textbook way, in the school way, right? In school, you probably remembered a lot of individual words. You have those big vocabulary list. You're trying to memorize all of them. Try to remember all these individual single words. It's not a good way to learn. Much better if you learn phrase, a group of words. And where do you find these phrases? You find the phrases in the Real English podcast that you're listening to, in the Real English storybook that you're reading to. So you don't memorize a list in a book. No. You listen to Real English, and when you hear new words, you write down. Or when you're reading a storybook and you see a new word, you write down. But not just write down that word. You want to write down the whole phrases or sentence. That all. So instead of saying hate, you just write down the word hate, and you would say, write down John hates ice cream. You write down the whole phrases. Why do we do this? What is the power of phrases? Well, phrases give you a lot of information, much more information. Number one, phrases are easier to remember because they have meaning, they have a kind of picture of story, especially when you get them from something that you were reading or listening to. You will remember it. John hates ice cream. You will remember the whole story. You remember who John is. You remember that he hates ice cream, and then you remember he hated it. He didn't like it, right? So you have all you have this extra piece of information, or this extra information helps you remember the meaning of the phrases and the meaning of the words. It helps your memory much easier to remember. Number two, there is a bonus. When you learn phrases, you are learning grammar also. You're not learning individual words. You're learning grammar. You're learning how to use that word correctly. You don't need to think about the grammar. You don't need to know the rules. It automatically is another way to that native speaker learn English grammar. Because when we are children, we learn phrases. We learn groups of words, not just one word by one word by one word by word. It's slow and it doesn't help. And you don't need learn any grammar. But when you learn the whole phrases, you write down the phrases. You are getting extra information. Maybe you don't know, but for example, John hates ice cream. That the word at as. Well, from grammar, you are from the grammar study, you are making a subject verb. Agree, you don't need to think about that word. Just write out phrases. John hates ice cream and study it and review it. Always learn phrases, not just that words. And so in the future, whenever you say he hates ice cream, she hates ice cream, you will ask the rest, because how to that's how to learn it correctly. how to learn it from phrases. On the other hand, if you learn it from a textbook, you just learn the word hate means doesn't like, and you only learn that from hate, and you will memorize it. Then when you start making mistakes, because you learn it only this way, you didn't learn it with other words. So sometimes you'll say he hates ice cream. You will forget the s because you never learn it correctly in a sentence, in the phrases. So this is the very simple rule in the courses. It's important every time you find the new words. Always, always, always write the phrases or the sentence. When you review the words again, when you study it again, always study the entire phrases or sentence. Never study just the word. Always the whole phrases. Do this every time. Your grammar will begin to improve much faster, and you will remember the vocabulary faster and more easily. You will use that vocabulary more quickly, so you get a lot of great benefits. A lot of great stuff happens when you learn phrases instead of words. So phrases, learn them. And I hope you enjoy this rule. Number one, use this rule. Your homework is to get a little phrases notable. So when you find new English vocabulary in a lesson, and in something you're listening to, in a book, in article, write down the phrases, not just one word. Write down the entire whole phrases that you find, and then review the phrases again each day, and you will create a note full of phrases, full of sentences, not individual words, never individual words. So, okay, that's rule 1. Tomorrow you will get another email with the rule number 2. So see you tomorrow. Bye bye.